New Mercedes screens are designed to make you forget, while an old Mercedes is built to make you feel. Look, why are people across America spending $50,000 on a 30-year-old W124 or a W126 when they could easily lease a brand new, tech-loaded S-Class for the exact same monthly payment? The reality is, we've reached a breaking point. We are living in an era where cars have transformed from soulful machines into rolling computers, designed to track your data rather than ignite your spirit. These new machines have lost the mechanical roux, the soul, that connects a human being to the open road. This video isn't just about cars. It's for the people who value character, authenticity, and a legacy that doesn't expire with a software update. Today, we're decoding the psychology of the Silver Star era and why choosing old is the ultimate middle finger to modern consumerism. There is a profound psychological difference between clicking a heavy, mechanical Mercedes switch and swiping a fingerprint-smudged iPad screen. When you press a tactile, wood-trimmed button in a vintage Benz, your brain receives a specific groundedness signal. This is tactile feedback. It's physical, it's certain, and it triggers an immediate dopamine release that a touchscreen simply cannot replicate. New interiors are designed for sensory overload, throwing 1,000 options at you just to change the air conditioning. It's distracting, and frankly, it's exhausting. Humans naturally crave physical control because it keeps us tethered to reality in an increasingly digital world. It's the difference between wearing a vintage mechanical Rolex and an Apple Watch. One has the weight of centuries of engineering and craftsmanship, while the other is just a collection of pixels waiting to become obsolete. For the vintage Mercedes owner, every click of a dial is a reminder that they are in control of the machine, not the other way around. By the way, there was a specific window in time, roughly from the late 60s to the mid-90s, where Mercedes-Benz engineers weren't restricted by accountants. Their only mandate was the best or nothing, and they took that literally. They built machines that were considered generational wealth, engineered to be passed down from a father to a son and then to a grandson. But look at the reality today. Modern cars are victims of planned obsolescence. They are literally engineered with plastic cooling components and fragile sensors that are designed to tire out after the lease ends. It's a strategy to force you back into the showroom. An old Mercedes, however, symbolizes an unbreakable trust. When you slam that door and hear that famous vault-like thud, you know that this metal isn't going to quit on you. That feeling of reliability provides a level of psychological peace, a security blanket of sorts, that no self-driving feature or ambient lighting can ever provide. You aren't just buying a car, you're buying a promise that hasn't been broken in 30 years. In my last video, we touched on the concept of silence, but the peace you find in a classic Mercedes is mechanical, not electronic. Most people don't realize that new luxury cars use active noise cancellation through the sound system. They pump in anti-frequencies to create a fake quiet that actually tricks your brain into thinking the cabin is silent. It's an illusion. In an old Benz, that silence is earned. It comes from superior metal thickness, real rubber seals, and massive amounts of genuine insulation. The difference is like wearing noise-canceling headphones in a busy mall versus sitting on a truly quiet mountain peak. Your brain fundamentally knows the difference between fake quiet and real engineering. This is why people who prefer the classics are often purists. They reject the artificial matrix of modern luxury and demand the authentic, heavy silence that only a master-crafted machine can offer. Here's where it gets weird. We've reached a point where you can't even change the battery in a new car without coding it to the computer. In the US, the right to repair has become a major psychological battleground. Owners of old Mercedes-Benz cars find a unique sense of self-reliance in being able to open the hood and actually understand what they are looking at. There is a primal satisfaction in fixing something with your own hands. Modern cars, with their proprietary software and subscription-based features, make you feel like a user rather than an owner. Driving a vintage Mercedes is an act of rebellion. It says you refuse to be tethered to a dealership's diagnostic tool. You value a machine that is transparent, honest, and serviceable. This autonomy is a massive part of why the 25 to 44 demographic is flocking back to these cars. They want to own their things, not have their things own them. Finally, Let's talk about the identity shift. A brand new Mercedes is often a loud shout for status. It's meant to tell the neighbors and the people at the red light that you've made it. But a pristine, silver on black 560 SEL? That is a whisper. That is old money psychology. It's driven by people who have absolutely nothing left to prove to anyone. These are the connoisseurs who know that true luxury isn't found in flashy LEDs or 3D, augmented reality dashboards. It's found in the scent of aged Zebrano wood, the quality of real Napa leather, and the honest, rhythmic sound of a naturally aspirated engine. For many of us, these cars represent a time when things were built to last and life was just simpler. You aren't just driving a vehicle. You're carrying forward a legacy of excellence that is becoming extinct in our plastic-heavy, throwaway world. At the end of the day, the question isn't which car is faster from 0 to 60. The question is, how do you feel when the drive is over? Did you just operate a computer, or did you spend quality time with an old friend? Look, technology will keep changing, but the soul found in a vintage silver star is permanent. I want to hear from you. If you had the keys to a 2024 S-Class and a museum-grade 1995 60 SEL sitting in front of you, and you could only keep one, which key are you grabbing? Drop your choice in the comments, and tell me, what was that one car that first made you fall in love with driving?